So next we're going to go into variable operation expenses. This is now based on, okay, we have employees, we have sales, so now the variable costs are going to come into play. And for most companies, if you're more than just an owner-operator, one of your biggest costs is going to be the employees. It is for pretty much every company out there. This was a breakdown, I believe this was based on, this is actually based on 6 employees here. All the standard stuff for New Jersey and federal stuff, and you'll notice the last one, it's called HR, that's Human Resources. About 2 years ago, we changed. We used to run payroll. I used a payroll company, a check writing service, but it still ran through my company. And we switched. I heard about, it's called a PEO. It stands for Professional Employment Organization. And I highly recommend that if you're not currently doing this, that everybody look into it. Basically what this is a human resource company that we partner with. And what we technically do is we lease employees from them. And in exchange for that, we pay a percentage. We pay 2.5% of gross payroll to cover those costs. However, because we're partnering with this company and they have huge buying power, they have employees. They have thousands of employees. They're able to negotiate the workman's comp. So they were actually able to save us 1.7% on a workman's comp. So our net operation expenses are, I only pay 0.8% of gross payroll for human resources, and they do everything. All I do is call in hours. They write all the checks, fill out all the forms, do all the paperwork, W-2, W-4s, the state filings, everything. I'm not responsible for any of it. All I have to do is cut them 1 check every 2 weeks, and they cover it all, so it is totally worthwhile. It actually cost me less than when I just had a company that only wrote checks right there. Subcontractors, we do work with, I have allowance in there for installers and some finishers that we work with, and you'll see we actually have health insurance there, $50,400. Just like your business should pay health insurance for yourself, your company should generate enough money to pay for health insurance for your employees. The reason is it's a benefit that they should get, and it's also something that if you want to keep and retain high-quality employees for long points in time, you need to offer them benefits. With that said, in February of this year, we actually stopped the health insurance. We no longer cover that health insurance, but what I did instead was we give every employee an increase in pay based on what the current insurance rates were, and so everybody got a pay increase, and now they all do it on their own, and I did that because it just made sense this year with the federal changes in the health insurance. Our rates were almost doubled, and I could no longer, we just couldn't charge that much. I was paying 100% coverage for all the employees. They were paying nothing. I was paying 100% coverage. All right, now we are into utilities. You'll notice the stars again, electrical and dumpsters. So this is now that we're in production, and these numbers are actually way more. Last year, I think our total numbers was almost 36,000 in electric and gas we had for last year. It was a very cold winter. We had a lot of finishing through the winter, and we actually were really busy. So we produced a lot more than that. Vehicle expenses, this is the second out of the 3 categories where you need to account for vehicles. Now your vehicle's operational. You're out making deliveries. You're out making sales calls. You're out doing pickups when you can't get something delivered to you. So your fuel expense is going to skyrocket. Maintenance on the vehicles, your standard maintenance, parking tickets, and tolls. We do a lot of work in New York City, so we get a lot of parking tickets. Mass transit, taxi, same thing. We're going into New York. We're going to measure a job. Maybe we might travel around right there. Airfare, I grouped airfare and hotel into this vehicle expense category instead of creating another one. Let's say, for instance, this summer is the show down in Atlanta. So if you want to travel, if you want to train yourself, if you want to get some education down there or check out the newest machinery, this is an expense that you need to account for. You need to charge your clients for. So the money's there when you want to travel, and you're not paying it out of pocket. Next, maintenance. This is everything variable. We are a full turnkey millwork shop. We outsource most of our sheet good processing. We're actually very millwork heavy. We have a lot of shapers and molders, a lot of wood processing, a lot of finishing done in here. So lots of tooling, sharpening service, booth filters. We have actually 2 booths, 2 spray booths. Fire suppression system has to be inspected twice a year for those 2 booths. A forklift, Equipment rental, $450. That is for occasionally one of our trucks is down for maintenance. We can't use it. We have 2 delivery trucks, and/or we need something bigger, or it's a trip going way far out of state. We do jobs. We just had a job up in Boston a couple weeks ago, so we use another truck. Locksmith. When you fire an employee, you want to change out the locks, so we put in a budget to change out the locks yearly, or when we get rid of an employee that we don't like and we want to swap the locks out. Chemical waste for our finishing supplies. That's so everything we don't throw the waste out. It's recycled. Water cooler food. It's a lot of money. It's something you don't think about. Actually, I'm going to jump right there. Water cooler food, and I'm going to jump down to where it says office supplies, consumables, read note. These are all the small things that you go out and pick up while you're on the road, and maybe you don't account for because they're small here and there. Maybe I was out the other day and I was going to a job and I realized I didn't have any pencils. I stopped in the store and I bought a couple of Sharpies, some highlighters, and some pencils. I think maybe I spent like $15. Well, I probably do that 10 times a year because I always forget that, or my tape measure. I have about 30 tape measures, but I never seem to have one on me. Water cooler, we actually pay for about every other week. We go out shopping and provide snacks for the employees, chips and other foods like that. It's an expense we need to account for. The reason I pay for that, there's a little sidebar to this, is because we actually get better production out of people. Instead of people having to leave and take longer lunches and go get their stuff, they may have a snack, or maybe middle of the afternoon, late afternoon, when it's starting to get towards the end of the day and people are starting to get burnt out. They'll either help themselves, or occasionally if I have some free time, I'll actually do a walk around. I'll grab some candies and some snacks and I'll walk around the shop and hand them out to people. It makes for great motivation, keeps everybody happy, and keeps people moving. So it's actually a great return on investment. But that stuff adds up. It's a lot of money. Entertainment marketing. No matter what your business is, no matter how big or small you are, you need to be promoting yourself in some way, form, or fashion, whether that's through electronic media, online stuff, direct mailers, commercials, going to events, being part of an association. We were very heavy in the association activity over the past couple of years. We kind of saturated the market in what they were. So you'll see actually trade shows. I have a $0 budget there. We're not this year, and probably not next year. We're not going to be doing any trade shows at all because we saturated the market. Also, a lot of the associations, because the economy was slower, we were getting a lot of attendees, but maybe 1 out of 50 actually had business. So our return on quality leads was not that high. So entertainment, you'll see we have a very big budget. So what we switched to is we're actually hosting events at our place. We hosted an event about 3 months ago. We had close to 70 people here. We did a sales course, sales training course. I brought in a professional sales trainer. Paid for that, and hosted a lunch and dinner networking event, and it was a great return on investment. We had, like I said, 70 people at our shop, and it went very well. We've already gotten business from it. We've made a lot of new contacts. Biz cards, brochures, mailers, ads, $1,000. Whatever you're going to need. There's other costs you can be in here. Maybe you're going to do, you'll see that there's nothing for like Google search engine. That's not the kind of product that we sell. I like working with the trade. We're going after a specific price point, and I don't want to work with the general public. So we don't do any kind of mass marketing, any kind of general public, because I actually don't want calls from the public because for us they're a waste of time. Office supplies, postage, consumables. That was going to be your ink cartridges, your paper for the printers, for the plotter, the pencils, papers, clips, all that kind of stuff, the consumables. No consumables for actual operations. That's going to be covered in materials and supplies. Checks, deposits, fees, shipping, office, same thing. If you have shipping costs involved with the job specific, you're going to charge it separately to the job. With that said, we do a lot of work in New Jersey and New York, and we're actually doing some work in Connecticut right now. So we are doing a lot of shipping with prints and samples. With designers and architects shipping out stuff all over the place. So there is expense to that. That's that.